Why don't we jump right in and look at what's happening with the markets right now, and maybe specifically Tesla, because Tesla has captured everyone's attention. You have been probably the longest Tesla shareholder and one of the most outspoken bulls out there on this. You are a huge believer in Elon Musk, and I think you just came back from a trip to visit both SpaceX and Tesla.
Yeah. So about the markets first, just briefly about that, is that we're long-term investors. We visit companies in which we invest. We study the businesses, look to opportunities, bet on people. But we're long-term when you see the performance of the stocks in which we've invested. So I started in the business in 1970, and I was living in my friend's basement. I was in debt. In 1982, we started Baron Capital, had 10 million under management with an M. Now in 1992, 100 million. Now it's 43 billion. And we've made our clients 44 billion in profits since we started. And I'm hoping that we make a double in the next 5 or 6, 7 years. And I think we'll make a double again 5 or 6 or 7 years after that. Of course, I am 80. So there are not that many people who are 80. I guess Buffett does. Munger did. It was also very interesting. I was listening to your interview with Charlie Munger 34 days before he died. And you said, Charlie, do you have a bucket list? And he said, yes, I do, Becky. And you said, well, what is it? And he said, well, and he's 99 at the time. Well, I've always wanted to catch a 200-pound tuna, but I'm not quite as strong as I was 4 years ago. He's 99. So it is encouraging.
And it was actually less than 2 weeks before he passed. So
amazing.
It was a very,
right.
That he was up to the very end.
Right. So I am long-term all the way in everything we're doing. And I asked you, to not introduce me as a Tesla bull, because that sounds like the only thing about it.
Yeah, I didn't know why it said investor. Yeah.
So I asked you to do it. Please make me an investor. I am incredibly bullish about the opportunities for Tesla, but I don't want people to think this is the only thing he does one way. And
no, but it is your largest holding. To be fair, Tesla is your largest holding. SpaceX is your second largest holding.
Right.
You have a long list of investments, but these two, because you got in so early, are your two largest holdings.
Well, we have 400 investments, and the top 30, which is that sheet, represent about 56, 57% of our assets. And by being a long-term investor, you can actually do quite well. And it's hard for most people to do better than the stock markets. I recommend people invest in index funds, passive investing. And if you did that, that's a good way to hedge against inflation. So inflation makes everything worth twice, it costs twice as much every 14 or 15 years, 4%, 5% a year. Sometimes it gets down a little bit, but it's 4 or 5% a year for my whole lifetime. And so the way you hedge against that is investing in good growth businesses and staying with them for the long term. So 98% or 97% of our assets beat the market, 96% top 20, and 45% are the top 1%. In fact, Barron Partners Fund, the #1 fund in the United States since 2003. And that's my promotion.